Ooh, the weather outside is frightful. And guess what? I'm feeling delightful. I would actually eat a donut if I could, but I'm not going to because you know why? It really doesn't do good with me. Like I just can't, I can't eat donuts anymore. Like I've tried. Please, know that I have tried to eat donuts because my favorite would be the plain with the chocolate frosting and the jimmies on top. But I can't because then it automatically makes me run to the bathroom. I know that's way too much information for you to handle right now this early in the morning, but it is what it is. I used to eat a lot of donuts. I used to. I hope you can eat donuts and eat them properly and eat them safely. Why am I talking about donuts? Why am I thinking about, why I'm thinking about donuts? Can I just tell you? It is snowing in Rhode Island. This is our first snowfall, truly, that is visible of the year. Now, we did have some flakes the other day. There's lots of flakes around us. But I'm talking real live, snowflakes that you can visibly see and you can see now on the ground have begun here in Rhode Island. So it's very pretty for now until you have to go out in it and then it turns muddy and dirty and icky. But it does put you in the Christmas spirit, doesn't it? I mean, if you celebrate Christmas, some of you may not. And, if you don't, whatever you celebrate, that's great. And I just always know myself, being a native Rhode Islander, every time it snows, you just get in that happy mood for a moment until, like I said, you have to go out and then it gets scary. Hi, good morning. It's Tuesday, and I hope you had a great Monday. We all know how Mondays can be. Mondays can be bad if you let them. But I feel like if you go into the day with a positive attitude, it'll be good, no matter what day it is. And my positive attitude this morning led me to listen to some old school Christmas music. Like we're talking, what was I watching? I was listening. Actually, I wasn't watching, I was listening. Who was it by? I have to go to my YouTube and then my history. Let's see, what was I doing? Okay, so it was top 50 most legendary Christmas songs. And let's see, so who was it? Oh, stop that. Let It Snow, Winter Wonderland, but like who sang these songs? It sounds like all the same person sang it. Why doesn't it say in the description who sang them? Well, I don't know, but anyway, all the songs: Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Winter Wonderland, Silver Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, White Christmas, Jingle Bells, and that was a cute one, Jingle Bell. I think it's Jingle Bells, but it's spelled Jingle Bell in the description here. And it was JINGLEBELLS, Jingle Bells. It was cute. Like, it was a cute song. I don't think I had ever heard that one before. Silent Night, Jingle Bell Rock, Deck the Halls, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Oh Come All Ye Faithful. And then I'm like, okay, I don't want to get that sentimental this early in the morning. And then I just stopped listening. And then it's all like sentimental stuff after that. But it was really, just fun to listen to it. And so, of course, then I'm thinking while I'm listening to these truly old school songs, what are they, from the 50s, 40s, 50s? I don't know. I'm thinking, boy, it would be really nice if many of us started going back to our old school ways. Really. I really would love to see the younger generation go back to talking to one another instead of texting. I mean, I have to say, even in my age group, many of us are responsible for only texting. Me, though, I do like to talk because I do feel like just some things can get lost in texting. I really do. If you believe that, let me know in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know where you're from today. Let's do that. Let's do that whole thing. And is it snowing where you are? I know there's a few parts of the country where they're getting belted. I think Chicago has had some snowfall there. Anywho, moving back on. I just love the old school. And I have to say, listening to this real, true old school music this morning just really put me in a great mood because it was so good. I mean, I didn't have to worry about anything. My parents did it all. I didn't have to worry about bills. I didn't have to worry about really anything. They did everything. So it was just nice memories to go back to. And it really is when family was together like glue, right? Family was everything. And I think we've lost a lot of that. I truly do. Friends, family. I mean, my parents had people at their home all the time until like when my dad passed away. That was it. It was really over. And then just a little bit before then when he got sick and stuff like that. But really for a lot of my young life, it was just all about getting together, going to visit people, not going to the mall, even though I did love doing that as a teenager, I will say. But I also loved visiting my family. I really did. It was just great times. So hopefully you guys have that in your life and relish it, love it, hold on to it, and all of the fun stuff that goes along with it. Good morning, Barry. How are you, donuts? I know. What is snow, right? I don't think you know what snow is. Oh, and Barry says, yesterday was Gary's birthday. I spent the day reflecting on the good memories with him. And you know what, Barry? I have to tell you, I know this is strange. I never met Gary, but there literally is not a day that goes by that I don't think about him for a moment throughout my day. Seriously, because it still affects me so much, not knowing someone, but kind of knowing someone, just like the entire YouTube community that followed Gary. We didn't, well, there are some, people on YouTube who are really dear friends with him, but you don't know someone, but you know them, but you don't. But you still connect with them and you still feel for them. So blessings to you, Barry. And Barry says, I believe things get lost in the translation. Yes, listening from LA, Louisiana, I'm assuming, or is it Los Angeles? Let us know. And it's true. It's true. I truly mean that about Gary. And especially whenever there's a journey piece, Steve Perry, he's always right there and right here in my heart. So, yeah. Cheers to you, Gary. And we're always thinking about you. Always, always, always. You're always going to be there. Now, I hope he met Louie. Isn't that crazy? But I hope they met. And I hope they gave each other a big hug. So moving on to, some of the things that are going on right now. Not a whole heck of a lot, but I did find this interesting because I got a notification yesterday that Styx tickets are on sale. And I'm going, Styx? Well, they're out every year. What's the big dealio? Styx is always on tour, right? And it's true. They are always, always on tour. It's not like it's anything, they're great. What a great show those guys put on. But, okay, yeah, for 2026, I get it. However, Styx is going out this time around with Chicago. And this is from usatoday.com. And Chicago and Styx are going on tour together for the first time ever, I guess, which is quite interesting. So, really, why did you do that? Okay. Chicago and Styx are going on tour together for the first time. These are the exclusive details. Styx's Tommy Shaw says he remembers getting goose pimples the first time he heard a Chicago record. However, we'll talk about this in a minute. Chicago then, when Tommy Shaw was listening, and Chicago today, two completely different animals, right? Tommy said, I couldn't believe there was music that elaborate and soulful, and it was still rock, he told USA Today. And they will all be going out on tour together. Well, not all. Again, talk about that in a minute. So let's see. Styx was co-founded in 1972 by current members James J.Y. Young and Chuck Panazzo, who are from Chicago. And let's see. Chicago founding member trumpeter Lee Lunane. Is that how you say his name? And I apologize if I got that incorrect. He said, we're going to have the Styx crowd who will be listening to us live for probably the first time and vice versa. After this tour, we'll probably have more fans from each band that we didn't have previously. It's a mutual benefit. And let's see, this tour kicks off in arenas and amphitheaters on July 13th, and it will all begin in West Palm Beach, Florida. They will be traveling to Charlotte, Cincinnati, Denver, and Phoenix, and it will all wrap up September 6th in LA, Los Angeles. Let's see. Pre-sales for this tour will happen today, starting at 10 o'clock. And I would assume that's Eastern time. But the majority of the tickets will go on sale to the general public this Friday, December 5th. On livenation.com. This is what happens to Google Meet. If you don't pay attention and I don't click on stay in meeting, it kicks me off. So here's part 2. I'm going to just start this story just a little bit from the beginning, but then I'm going to go into the original members of Styx in Chicago. I'm so sorry. What the heck? I can't with me. But anyway, this is, you guys know I'm just a hot mess. So, who are the original members of Styx and Chicago? Because they're going on tour, I said, let me go ahead and dig into that a little bit. Now, the only original members of Chicago who are still touring now are Robert Lamb, Lee Lunane. I don't know how to say his last name, and I apologize if I just screwed that up. And James Pankow. Pankow. Now, let's see. List of Chicago band members. Robert Lamb, he was there from the very, very beginning, as well as James and Lee. I'm not going to say Lee's last name. So they're the only ones there from the very, very beginning. And Chicago got their beginnings in 1967, the year that I was birthed. So that's a long time ago. Isn't that crazy? And the band members who are currently in Chicago, and they will be on the road, God willing, in 2026, Lee, not going to say his last name, James and Robert, they will be there. Ray Herman, he's on sax. Walfredo Rise Jr., he's on drums. Neil Donnell, he's on vocals and guitar. He sounds great, by the way. Some people are, or have, I've seen on social media, given him some flack because, like, oh, he's not the original. No, duh. There's been a bunch of lead singers of Chicago, but it is what it is. He sounds good. Leave him alone. Ramon Ray Islas on percussion. Tony Obrota on guitar and vocals. And Lauren Gold, keyboard and vocals. Eric Baines, bass and vocals. And Carlos Merguia, keyboard and vocals. And geez, I'm so sorry if I butchered anyone's name. I completely apologize, but they look like a fun bunch of gentlemen. I will just say that. Now, the original members of Styx, we'll head over there. The original members of Styx, as you know, y'all know, you're here in this classic rock-ish classic hits community. You know, Dennis DeYoung, James J.Y. Young, John J.C. Kuralewski, and brothers Chuck and John Panazzo. All right, now let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper here. Styx originated in 1972, and John J.C. Kuralewski was on guitars, backing, and lead vocals. We kind of don't hear that name, do we? We don't. Chuck and John, they're twins. They co-founded the band, originally called Trade Winds. Then they changed the name to TW4 with their neighbor Dennis DeYoung in 1961. JY joined in 1970. John Kurlewski joined in 1969, and they eventually became Styx. Kurlewski left the band in 1975. Tommy Shaw replaced him, and this was the most successful lineup of the band. And as we know, John Panazzo, one of the co-founders with his twin, passed away of gastrointestinal hemorrhage and cirrhosis of the liver. He passed away at the age of 47 on July 16th of 1996. Now, the current members of Styx, which are, fantastic. Let's see. The current members of Styx 2025. Okay, so we've got JY, Tommy Shaw, Chuck Panazzo, Todd Zuckerman, of course, on drums, Lawrence Gowan, lead singer Will Vankovich, and new bassist Terry Gowan, who is Lawrence's younger brother. Now, I really don't mind Styx as they currently are. A lot of people talk about cover bands and, listen, my mind immediately goes to Foreigner today. Really. It just immediately goes there. Even though, yes, they're doing a great job with what they're doing. However, my personal feeling, they really shouldn't call themselves Foreigner. I will stick by that. And it's no shade to the current guys. Really, it's not. It's just not. I just don't feel it's right. I feel that consciously, it's just not right to call yourselves Foreigner. My own personal opinion, and I'm sorry. Luis Maldonado, I just saw some quick thing with him and Lou Graham, and I forget what song he was talking about with Lou and why he loves it so much. But, great guys, seem like a bunch of great guys. Luis is doing a great job, but I just don't feel like their name should be Foreigner. It really should be like Foreigner Recharged, Supercharged Foreigner, Super Turbo, for something. But it should not be Foreigner. But who am I? What do I know? Nothing. Styx, I'm not mad about it because we still have Tommy and, we still have JY and we still have Chuck. So I don't think, I really don't have a problem with it. And I think Lawrence has done a phenomenal job headlining this band. I mean, their show, seen them a few times. Oh my gosh, they're so good. So good. Dennis DeYoung, people, will he ever go back? He's not going. It's not going to happen. I don't believe that will ever happen due to the animosity, I think, between him and, a couple of the guys. So that is what it is. Will you be going to see Styx and Chicago together, even though Chicago is really, they got a few of the guys, but the lead singers, that's been a turnstile. Truly, for Chicago. So will you go see them? I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. Good morning, Tanya. How are you? Nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you so much to our members, Jenny, Jim, Kathy, Bailey, Christine, Redsma, Patty, and Tanya, who is here with us this morning. So thank you from the bottom of our heart. Al and I thank you guys so much. We thank all of you for being here all the time. And anything, you do, whether you're just here watching and supporting, hitting the like button, subscribing, you're a member, you guys are just members just to support. Really, you don't get anything. I don't send out anything. I don't do anything. So we really appreciate it. But all you're doing is really supporting us staying on the air and staying here. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Billy Joel just sold his condo to his daughter. Now, this is from MSN.com. I thought this was interesting. He sold his condo to his daughter, Alexa Ray Joel. Now, some of the comments are, how can you sell your condo to your daughter? Now, I think it was originally listed at $5 million, if I'm not mistaken. He sold it to her for $4.5 million. And the transaction was posted publicly. It was between the two family members' trust. Billy bought this condo back in 2010. for $3.3 million. So he made a little bit of cash after he divorced his then wife, Katie Lee. And let's see, the building is at 211 Elizabeth Street in New York. New York, I'm assuming. And let's see, he probably completely gutted it and redid it, and I'm sure it's absolutely gorgeous. So I guess Alexa, according to this article, was already living there for many, many years. So Billy has been selling off much of his real estate due to him being diagnosed with a brain condition called normal pressure hydrocephalus, which is probably, just making his life difficult, to say the least. So he's downsizing his real estate holdings, which why not? What are you doing with it? Cash out, cash in, give the money to family and me. And, just, he wouldn't even know. Can you imagine? Like, he's worth so much money. He wouldn't even notice if like 10 million just happened to be transferred into my account. He'd be like, oh, my wife must have gone to Macy's or something. No, she's not going to go to Macy's. She's not going to Macy's. She's got personal shoppers going to her house. She doesn't have to go anywhere. So he bought a house for $10.7 million in the Hamptons down the street from Alec Baldwin. That's like a huge Oyster Bay estate. And he's been trying to sell that. It looks like that has not been sold yet. So, him selling the condo to his daughter, he probably didn't sell it. I'm sure he gifted it to her, but it probably is in public record showing that he sold it. But like I said, the guy's worth so much money. He doesn't need the money. And I thought this was kind of interesting. This popped up. Billy, there is a documentary, I guess, on HBO that came out in the summer. HBO. And So It Goes, it's called. It's on HBO Max. Now, I was watching the tube last night before I fell asleep, as I always do, on my couch without my little Louie. Of course, I was sad again yesterday. I'm sad every day. This too shall pass, but not really. Anywho, I mean, when you have a pet with you for so many years, it's kind of impossible to just move on quickly, just like a family member. Anyway, so I'm watching, and HBO was running a special. I did not jump on it. I should have. I think it was over yesterday. It was a Black Friday special, $2.99 a month for 12 months. So that's what, $60, probably plus tax on top of that. Not bad, because HBO and HBO Max do some pretty wild looking series on there. So if you can see if that deal is still available and you wanted to watch this documentary, And So It Goes from Billy Joel, see if that deal is still available. Give HBO a call and they might say, hey, we'll honor that. Why not? A sale's a sale, baby. And he was married in the beginning to Elizabeth Weber. She's now Elizabeth Weber, right? They were married in the very, very beginning. She recently did an interview with Variety. And I guess she doesn't do interviews. She was also Billy's manager back in the day. And there were several songs written about her, which, like the interviewer asked her, hey, do you ever meet up with Billy, or do you think he'll, write some tunes about you? She's like, that would be weird. In a nutshell, that's what she said. Come on now. He's married. We both moved on. We were married. We were divorced like 40 years ago. But what she said about being his manager, she said, I look back on those years and they were fantastic. I loved my job. I was so good at it. It wasn't even working. Can you imagine being Billy Joel's manager and wife and lover, best friend back in the day when he just catapulted? Just the Way You Are, allegedly, is about her. It was a young person's life, though. By that time, I was a mother, and I was very clear that if I wasn't a good mother, if I didn't do the best for Sean, what good was I? And it became a time where it was clear that I didn't want my mother or my son in the same room with most of the people I was working with. Wow, that's interesting. When I was really young, I thought they'd get more like me and maybe I'd be modeling better behavior and a strong character. It took a long time, but eventually I realized no, I was around people who were doing things all the time that I didn't want to do, whether that means drugs or ... So I'm thinking she has a very, very interesting story to tell. Elizabeth Weber. Yeah, so go and read that. It's on variety.com if you want to check out. She has a lot to say. All right. So here we go. Some dirty but not so dirty jokes, Santa themed, because why not? I said, you know what? I'm having trouble finding more of these dirty but not so dirty jokes. And let's move into Santa. Not to pick on Santa, but we're going to. Okay. This is so bad. These are bad, though. So if you're highly offended by anything, don't listen. And I know you're going to listen like this. I'm going to listen anyway, because this is what we all do as humans, right? Don't do it, but then all right, I won't. You're really doing it. Okay. Why does Santa always come through the chimney? He knows better than to try the back door. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Yeah, I know. All right, ready? Here's another dirty but not so dirty joke, Santa themed. What do female reindeer do when Santa takes the males out to guide his sleigh? This is so bad. What do female reindeer do when Santa takes the males out to guide his sleigh? Oh my God, I'm going to say it. They go into town to blow a few bucks. Stop it. I did it. I said it. So bad. So bad. All right, now I'm going to show you what it looked like this morning, because why not? This was out my back door, and here we go. I had to mute it because it's copyrightable and I can't. So here you go. This is what it looked like this morning. Our first snow of the year, December 2nd of 2025. And, it looked pretty. It did. I don't know what it looks like right now, but then it looked good. Yep. And here we go. Here it begins. I think this is early this year, actually, for the snowfall here. I mean, we've had years. When I was a kid, here we go. When I was a kid, I think snow started in November, really. That's what I remember. But now I feel like it doesn't start until January. However, we've been told this year was going to be a doozy because we've been lucky the past several years. We haven't had much snow at all. Some years, if any, really. But this year it's going to be cold. We're going to get a lot of snow, and it's just not going to be funsies. But we deal with it. We get through it. And I'm already thinking spring. Already thinking about pink pants and a white shirt. Here we go. What was the number one song on this day, December 2nd of 1980? And that song was Lady, your love's the only love I need. I know it's unrecognizable, but the song was Lady by the late Kenny Rogers. Number one song on this day, December 2nd of 1980, Lady by Kenny Rogers. What a great song that is. Well, guys, I hope you have a magnanimous day. And again, Let us know where you're from in the comments below. Are you experiencing snow, or is it 90 degrees, hot and sunny where you're at? I'll be jelly, but it's okay. All right, guys. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Remember to download the free app to Kiki.fm with all of the greatest and classic hits. Subscribe to this channel if you like this type of nonsense. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell to let you know when I'm on live. And just give yourselves a big, ginormous hug. And remember, I love you, love you, love you. And I will hopefully see you soon.